Welcome to the It's Always Saturday podcast because it's always Saturday when you're with the boys.
Don't know if the framing is. I mean, you're short.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's still cut off a little.
Wow. There, you heard it here first. Ian Hall is tall.
He's officially been lightly cut off by a frame. We just wanted to guarantee that we started the podcast off on time.
Is this in the frame?
Yeah, that's solid. Yeah, we made a beautiful sign on cardboard moments ago. I'm still sick. We're doing great.
I'm also sick. I think Shaquisha got me sick.
Shaquisha,
Yeah. I work with Shaquisha on Sundays.
Yeah, we've decided that we're going to add code names to people to not dox everybody immediately today.
Although we will be dropping Ethan Marler's address in the chat.
Amazing. As well as his full name already.
We already did that last time.
We did do that last time. We got the gamers. We got the emo hat.
I'm repping the boys because they're playing on Sunday.
And that ain't Saturday, though.
But it will be Saturday because we'll be with the boys. So.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I think we're doing good. I'm going to double check the stream information because it says episode 1 on your computer. I
can refresh it, see what happens.
Good plan.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is look, episode 2.
There we go. Okay.
Hit me with the banger question.
Okay. What's your favorite kind of cereal? And there's going to be a follow-up question.
Okay. I'm going to be real. I don't believe in cereal. I don't trust it. I think the nutritional value is a lie.
I didn't ask you what the fuck the nutritional value was. I asked you what your favorite kind of cereal was.
I like Frosted Flakes.
Frosted Flakes. All right. That's fair. Okay. Now, your answer to my next question will decide whether I kill a man on live stream or not. Let's say Spencer gets home after a long, hard day of sucking dick.
Mm-hmm.
He's real pooped.
Mm-hmm.
He decides he's going to have a bowl of cereal.
Mm-hmm.
He pulls out his Frosted Flakes.
Mm-hmm.
He pulls out the milk.
Mm-hmm.
What does he pour into that bowl first? The milk or the cereal?
Well, again, you assume that I would use a bowl. Straight to gullet. Open mouth, pour liquid in just to soften the cereal to immediately swallow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you see, again, I'm not a regular cereal consumer.
Mm-hmm.
So
there is a correct answer, just so you know.
I'm certain. I believe I would put in cereal first, because if you were to put milk in first, then the cereal would splash upon entry to the bowl, and that sounds inferior.
That is the correct answer. You have passed the test, and I will not kill you on live stream.
Thank goodness. That was a concern of mine.
Yes.
And as well...
How can I get... Remember last time we had the chat?
We do. It's on the right. You've just full screen. You're also not on the dashboard.
How do I
click on the icon in the top right? Click Creator Dashboard.
Creator Dashboard.
There we go. Ian's discovering what the internet is and how Twitch works.
Yes. I recently got the internet about 3 days ago.
Originally, his Ooga Booga caveman ass was just having a hard time processing.
Yeah, it was a rough go for a while. You know, like all those, what are they called? You know, at least when I was younger, I had like this massive like set of books that had like a whole bunch of like information in it.
Oh, like a bunch of encyclopedias.
Yes, a bunch of encyclopedias and stuff. I still had those.
From
1985.
Yeah, them textbooks talking about how the world's going to enter an ice age. Yeah. And how that's the real information that I feel like the government frankly ignores.
Mm-hmm.
Also, shout out the people that have been watching the podcast on YouTube. We're nearly at 100 views. We're doing pretty good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we're at like 91 or 2 or something.
That's tight.
Yeah, which is, for such a terrible quality of podcast, I think it's pretty good.
We got a chatter.
We got
a chatter.
We got Jane _ Porter.
No, it's Janer Porter.
Oh, Janer Porter.
Hi, mate. I think she was trying to say see hey.
I was going to say, I believe there's a typo in that message. Yeah, she, actually, I believe this user also put a suggestion on the Instagram poll. I'm going to go read it because I don't remember what the word is.
Okay.
Because I'm not too good with the words.
Yeah.
When asking what we should talk about, they put in epigenetics.
And
we're gonna
we don't know what that is.
We're gonna discuss what we think it is.
We're gonna take we're gonna take shots at what we think it is. So I think that it's the study of how some people have epicness built. How they have epicness built into their genes. So like epigenetics. It's like epic genetics.
Okay, it's just a shortened version.
Yeah.
Okay, I have two theories.
Okay.
So you know, like an EpiPen.
Oh yeah.
I believe it's about people who are being slowly evolved to have built-in.
Remember,
EpiPens.
when you're using your EpiPens, blue to the sky, orange to the thigh.
Yep. Also, there's one side that's like pokey. That has like, if you slap your thigh and you don't feel nothing, you use the wrong answer. But yeah, either people that are slowly evolving to become EpiPens,
Okay.
or a form of eugenics based around epicness where we eliminate the non-epic.
Okay.
So we're pretty close.
I'm pretty into that last one.
I personally would participate in that, like a purge for losers.
Yeah, I'm very open to that.
I'm also gonna Google what it actually is, so you fill the dead air for a moment. What spurred the cereal? Were you a cereal eater as a child?
We were talking about this last time. How on Bumble they have it where only the females can message first, and you were talking about how I think, did you have it or
I had Tinder for 18 hours.
Okay. Anyways, he thought that if sometimes like when you match and the other person's messages first, it's really boring, and so on Bumble, it would just be always the females hitting you up first and being really boring because only females can message first.
Yeah, and only women are boring.
Yeah, exactly. And this one,
we're the 3 viewers as soon as I said women are boring. So I feel like
I feel like we need to keep going on that. That one of this we matched on Bumble, and she hit me up and she was like, when you have cereal, do you pour the milk first or do you pour the cereal first?
So you're hitting on me.
Yes, I'm hitting on you. And when have I not been?
That's a good point.
Yeah. No, and she does it wrong, actually. She pours the milk first, which is incorrect. So I immediately...
That's what I did, and you said was the right way. Milk first was the right one, you said. No, yeah, my bad. I'm stupid.
Yeah,
cereal first.
Cereal first. Anyway, she said milk first. So I immediately reported her. She has
to the NSA.
To the NSA.
To immigration. Get her deported. Also,
her house was.
Did you gonna say her address?
No, her house was drone striked.
Yes, as it should be. So we have another message in chat, which I'm going to address in a moment after we get this definition out of the way. So epigenetics is the study of changes in organisms caused by modification of gene expression rather than alternation of genetic code itself. So it's whether or not an organism determines itself to act in an epic way and then live.
Yes, that is also how I
would like to now address the chat from
Janer_Porter. Janer_Porter says, if you ask what people think the soul is as a state of matter on Tinder, they get weirded out and unmatch you. Men out here being dull.
That's yeah. I remember I had Janer_Porter is a person we are aware of in the actual world.
Yes, we actually know her.
Shockingly.
Yeah.
And she had discussed this question with me. I think it's like electrons, like particles, more or less. Like, I think it's like the little, to use Star Wars term, midichlorians. Well, it's like, because I think it's like the electrical impulses in your body.
Okay, that's what you think the soul is?
Yeah. But you being a religious man, I assume have a different...
religious man. You know, in Doctor Strange...
you laugh at me talking about Star Wars, and you're like, yo, in Doctor Strange, though.
In Doctor Strange, when that, bald lady, hits him, and his form, his physical body, pops out of him.
Sorceress Supreme.
Ah, yes.
You could tell by the handbag.
Ah, right.
And her Gucci slides.
Yeah. Just when that, I feel like your soul is who you are, but without your like physical body.
Yeah, like anything that like isn't corporeal, I think would be the wording for
I
that.
don't know
like,
what that means.
Like physical.
Okay.
Like every aspect of you that isn't directly flesh and blood, more or less.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree to that. And kind of like, and from like the religious standpoint, like your physical body dies.
And also Jesus.
Jesus. Your physical body dies, but like your soul goes to heaven or hell if you suck.
Mm-hmm. Which is why the study of epicness is so important.
Exactly.
And another one, Janer saying, "Bro, you don't understand electrons." I thought it said elections for a moment.
Elections.
Electrons.
I don't understand either of them.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. We are not informed. That's the part of the podcast is that we don't know things.
Yeah. We really don't know things.
Yeah. Like, they're stupid. And then there's the It's Always Saturday podcast.
there's the It's Always Saturday podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If that's directed at me, you are correct.
Yeah. If it's directed at either of us.
Yeah.
Well, science is dumb. Math
Electrons.
is dumb.
Electricity. Thomas Edison.
Nikola Tesla.
Tesla. Elon Musk. SpaceX.
Moon.
Mars. Electrons are Mars.
I feel like this is kind of like Robin Hood word association. Electrons on Mars? Well, if you're so smart, Janer _Porter.
No, electrons are Mars. Yes.
Yeah, see? You didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you do.
We just did that.
Yeah, you're welcome. We discovered science.
Yes. Elon Musk, hit us up.
The real question is math related to science? I don't think so. I feel like Katy Perry was valid in her uncertainty.
I need to talk about Frozen 2 for a moment.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know, for those of you who have seen Frozen 2, I saw it twice with Robin Hood. Subpar film, 5 out of 10. But one thing that I did notice is that Kristoff is literally just trying to lock down some pussy.
True.
That whole movie. That whole movie, Kristoff is trying to lock down some pussy, okay? They are, like, Ian,
have you considered that has been the past 2 years of your life? So you can criticize, but I feel like you're criticizing your reflection.
No, I'm saying that this is a positive of the movie.
You saying that's the only good part?
That's the only good part.
I can only relate to the simp in the movie.
The simp in the movie. Don't act like you ain't been trying to lock down pussy too, boy. Okay, anyways.
I've been married for 17 years.
Yeah, to me.
Exactly.
Spencer's been hitting this back pussy.
Hope my grandma's watching this episode. Fun fact, my grandma followed the Instagram. Never been more proud of anything in my life.
Yeah, my grandma doesn't have Instagram.
You think we should set her up?
Yeah.
Get your grandma. Your grandma should be the guest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grandma, come on the podcast.
Any Ian's grandmas in chat?
Is there any Ian's grandmas in chat?
Yeah.
Janer Porter says yes.
Yeah, she was excited about Frozen 2. You know what I find interesting? You know when they're like vibing and then like the wind goes, ah!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they got a whole musician that like played that.
Oh.
This musician named Aurora. And I, by accident, found her. She's got some banging music.
Does she got banging music?
She do. She's got some good shit. She has some very famous quotes. One time in an interview, they said, "What do you like to do?" And she's like, "I like to hang out in my house, read a book, cook some food, masturbate, and watch a movie." She was just a chill Norwegian woman. Got some good music.
Is what the It's Always Saturday podcast is all about.
Exactly. Experimenting with yourself, others, and chemicals.
Chemicals especially.
Exactly. Chemicals, asbestos? Snap time?
I have done asbestos. Anyway, so I'm just going to break this down a little bit. So, Kristoff comes into the movie, the opening song.
This better be what we talk about for the next half hour.
Opening song. Olaf is like all worried. He's having like an existential crisis.
That was my favorite part of the film.
That was a good part too.
And when Olaf died.
He's like having like an existential crisis, doesn't really know what's going on. Just like he's really really.
You are Frozen 2.
I am Frozen 2. Anyways, and they sing that song. And then like when they switch from shots of Olaf and Anna to Kristoff and his reindeer, he's immediately just like, bro, I'm out here trying to lock down this pussy.
And that was the reindeer speaking. That would really put me off that whole film. Yeah, when that reindeer was like, I need to marry Anna. And Kristoff was like, yo, but like, I called dibs.
Yeah.
And then the reindeer just started beating him savage. I didn't realize they could put that much blood in a children's film.
Surprised it was only rated PG.
Pretty gory.
Yeah, so like from the start of the movie, then when they enter that like new forest place, he's immediately already trying to propose to Anna. He's like, this will be a pretty more romantic place under different circumstances. And he's like about to propose, and then she's like runs away.
That is some fuckboy shit where it's like, under different circumstances, girl, like
under different circumstances.
This would be like so romantic. Like, not to press you, but like we could like kiss right now.
Bro, we could fuck right now.
Ooh, I'm gonna turn off my heater because there might be some background noise.
It's like we could fuck right now, like as a joke. We could do it as a joke, but like if you wanted, to, like only if you want to.
We're trying to fuck chat. I would find it great if just like the viewership just like peaked, just like you were like, yo, but like if you want some,
you want some of this.
No, stop. I'm going to cancel this. I'm going to turn back time and unravel what you just did, you cretin. For the audio listeners, he just started to damn near tongue the microphone. No.
Fuckboy Ian is here.
Terrible. I feel like this toque is a bad influence for you. Man puts on the pom-pom and then just goes to town.
Just gone.
You wanna? I'll do one of my topics next. Let's see what we.
Anyways, Frozen 2 is really about Kristoff trying to lock down that pussy, and anyone who says otherwise, that's heresy.
Legally speaking, we're correct. So I go to university. If you couldn't tell, flexing. And like. My philosophy professor, he was rattling off on some shit. I was half listening. And then part of the way through it, he just turns to the class and he's like, because, like, are numbers real? And that set me off first. Because, like, they aren't.
They aren't.
No, like, things exist in, like, a quantity, but there's no inherent... Numbers don't just exist. It's, like, a thing we fully made up.
Well, yeah, it's like it's like a name for something. Like this is a laptop, but
this is a wand.
Yeah, we just made it. We just made it up.
Yeah, but it's just it's so ingrained thinking about like there's so much shit that we just made up that is not real, but it feels because like looking at a number, you can say like borders. There's a map on my wall for reference. Like there are two of us, but two does not exist. It's a stupid thing to think about, but I think, pardon me, that it's just like, it's weird to think about.
It's whack. Drop a like in the chat if you think we should have open borders.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dope. Just like vibe around.
Yeah, just like chilling. I actually have my passport, so with me.
On you?
On me.
Do you actually have your...
Yeah,
why do you have your passport on you? I
did a background check today.
Please just open up your passport for the camera. Welcome to this series of just Ian and Spencer doxing themselves.
We just dox ourselves.
Oh, we go to another... Oh, we got another message from Jane Porter. Except the math has proofs and therefore it is real. There are parts of math that don't exist.
Jane,
so in your claim...
I don't recall asking.
And as well, in your statement, you just said, it's proven that also doesn't exist. This is why we don't invite you to things. Yeah. But even, like, the proof is based on a made-up concept. So it's like, if I can prove that the unicorn I made up has a horn through the drawing I made of it, the unicorn has a horn, that doesn't make the unicorn real. It means it's a horned unicorn that I made up.
Yes.
Which is why I hate women. We gotta drop that at least once in every podcast.
Just once. Let's see.
Are you looking for another topic?
Just quick shout out. Is Bamboozler in chat? Let us know if you're in chat.
That'd be pretty sick. Bamboozler. He was a champion.
So if you listen to the last episode of the podcast,
which I'm sorry if you did, the audio was real bad.
Hey, it was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you listened to the last episode of the podcast, you would have seen that we crowned Male Fighter of the Year, Jorge Masvidal.
Mm-hmm.
And I was listening to Jorge Masvidal on the Joe Rogan podcast. Shout out Joe Rogan.
Was he on like this week?
No, he was on a while ago. I'm a little bit behind. And they were talking about like weight cutting and stuff like that. And he goes, and Joe asks him what did you weigh? Like, what's the heaviest that you've ever weighed? And Masvidal was like, I went on this like reality TV show, and after that, like I weighed that's probably the heaviest that I've ever been. And Joe goes like, how much did you weigh? And he goes, I weighed in at an astounding 2 sexy.
That's how I scale numbers.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, this is completely unrelated, but it's a number that fits on a scale.
Okay.
So there was I've been getting into this YouTuber called Tom Scott. Is either Tom Scott or Tim Scott.
Mm-hmm.
But he had this one video about this is not a very interesting topic in all honesty, but it's about like testing shoes on like slippery surfaces.
Okay.
And how the company that originally was doing the testing for these shoes was going to put them on a scale of snowflakes, like liberals. Right? It was on a scale of like 1 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
But they realized almost all the shoes did not break one snowflake. So they limited it to 1 to 3 so they wouldn't feel as bad. Which I think is neat, because you think about shoes as like, they hold on to shit.
Mm-hmm.
But people be slipping nonstop. I nearly drove into somebody today. I genuinely, on my way home from like the bus stop, I was thinking like, I'm going to need to swerve into a snowbank if this person breaks all of a sudden. And they fucking braked all of a sudden. So I had to swerve into a snowbank to slow down my car enough.
Mm-hmm.
So that way I was able to then drive back on the road and not rear end this Jeep that has 4-wheel drive when my little rinky-dinky ass 2-wheel box just fucking slides on the ice.
Yeah, I don't have snow tires on my car because I
don't believe in them.
I actually don't believe in them. I like to live life on the edge, and I put my
Snow
car in
tires.
the ditch the other day.
I don't think I need snow tires, but also I drove into a ditch.
Yeah, like I went to meet a new client for Robinhood, and they lived like out in the country, and yeah, I was going like pretty slow too, and I just went around this corner. I just like slid.
Yeah,
I was like nose down in the ditch like this.
Sally was having a rough go that day.
Sally wasn't doing too well.
Yeah, no, Sally is Ian's car, and she's a trooper.
She's a beauty. She's a little bit of a hoe, but that's okay.
Can you not fix your face for like 2 seconds?
You know,
do you need a moisturizer?
No,
I can get you moisturizer.
No, I don't need a moisturizer.
I would like to discuss how masculinity impedes most men from moisturizing, and how that's a problem. Do you moisturize?
No.
I moisturize. And it's because I'm gay. But it's also good. Oh, have we got another chat from Janer?
Janer Porter says, Cole hit a yield sign and called the cops on himself.
Hell yeah. What an honest
That's
guy.
really just a Chad move by Jane's younger brother.
I think that next time he vapes in his room, he should do the same.
Yeah. I'm vaping in my room.
I could just see some dumb teen just being like, they're like peer pressured themselves into vaping because they're like, everybody else vapes. I need to try it. And they go in the room and I do the vape. Oh no! Oh no! I need to tell police. And then they call the cops on themselves for vaping in their room. Do you know what I hated? On my last year, like of 30 level English in high school, I was in I won't say his name anyway, but the teacher did not give a shit about anything. So the amount of times that kids would vape in class thinking they're subtle because they'll like do this shit with their hoodie where they're like they have like their hands like tucked into the sleeves and then they're vaping one hand going like and they into their other sleeve, not realizing that fabric, it doesn't hold in mist. It goes through the fucking fabric.
Yeah.
Like
those are what we call big brain plays.
Those are the people that I shockingly have definitely not seen at the University of Alberta. Yeah, that's what I liked about starting university, is that all the people that I really hated shockingly didn't get in.
Yeah. Spencer hates dumb people.
I love elitism, which means I have to hate dumb
Yes,
people.
exactly.
I love elitism if it benefits me.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Because I am the elite.
Exactly. But I'm the elite of the feet, and that's what disappoints you the most.
Oh.
Do not want to discuss feet on the podcast 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, that's a rough go.
I still don't get, what about it?
I don't know. Everyone, okay, I think it might be genetic though, because my oldest sister hates feet. My older brother hates feet. I hate feet.
Mm-hmm.
My younger sister, Erica, hates feet. We don't know if my youngest brother hates feet, but he's adopted, so we'll see.
So when that boy got a foot fetish, you know what's confirmed? that when that line ain't linear, that's when things get fetishy. You can quote me on that. Science, which I know chat cares so much about. Epigenetics, what a terrible suggestion. Let's go. Well, I remember there was another suggestion, which was Minecraft versus Terraria. And I think Terraria is Minecraft for people that don't go out as much.
Terraria.
Terraria or Terraria. It's like the 2D one, where they, slap shit.
Oh, I think I've seen that one.
Yeah. It just looks like nerdier Minecraft.
Yeah.
Not to be offensive. But also, I think you can do more. You can make guns and stuff.
Okay. Did Michael Jackson touch those kids?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
You think so?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because, yeah. If you're that famous and you got access to boys, then you just do whatever.
He hit his personal doctor that he had reported
was a little boy. His personal doctor, who was about 7.
No, his personal doctor reported that Michael Jackson was actually chemically castrated as a kid so he would keep his voice.
That's horrifying.
Yes.
But also, yeah, that kind of makes sense for, again, how his voice was.
Yeah.
Which is deeply unfortunate. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, R.I.P. his pre-castrated balls.
It's so, because, the opportunity for him to touch those boys is, right there.
Oh, are you talking about, the Dave Chappelle bit? How he didn't touch Macaulay Culkin?
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So, the opportunity to touch those boys was right there. Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of hard to be he wasn't touching those boys because, who just has, little boys, sleeping over their house? Actually,
I just love little boys.
I just love little boys.
I just want to take care of them. I want to take them to the Neverland Ranch.
His whole thing was that because his dad was focused on into making him such a megastar that he never actually had a childhood. Yeah. So that's why he built the Neverland Ranch, and that's why he justified hanging out with all these little boys. Was I didn't have a childhood, so I got to experience my childhood.
So that's why I want to look at buttholes.
It's fucked.
And it's sketchy to me because he was acquitted in court by the very same people who later came with this documentary when he was dead and are saying that he did touch them.
Yeah, well...
Also, I know for a fact, one of them, when that documentary was, being made and then released, was in financial trouble.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's kind of... Well, it's something where... juries in general are kind of strange because as opposed to depending on whether or not a judge decides based on evidence something did or did not happen, it becomes a popularity contest with 12 strangers. And when you're Michael fucking Jackson, you're probably going to win the popularity contest because it's no longer are they guilty of a crime, it's do they have a guilty personality. Mm-hmm. And if you're pop icon Michael Jackson, they're going to think, no, it's pop icon Michael Jackson.
It's Michael Jackson. Mm-hmm. I don't know. The whole thing is just it's very sketchy.
Because I think you want to read Janer's comment?
Janer Porter says, "What about the power dynamic difference of dead MJ versus alive MJ?" That's actually a good point.
I think if I died, I probably would not be as physically strong as I am at the moment.
No, I think what she's referring to is how Michael Jackson got exponentially more famous when he died.
Yeah. So you're saying that like the power thing was related to his death empowering him, meaning that they're more willing. So you're saying that the person is more likely lying about saying they did it to get fame after he died because there's more relevance to him once he had died.
I don't know. Also, there's the whole part where he is dead, so he can't defend himself.
Mm-hmm. So why not? Let's just say he's guilty.
Yeah.
He's already dead. What's he gonna do? Say he didn't?
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
In conclusion, Michael Jackson probably touched those boys, but that will not stop me from getting down to Thriller in the club. And you know what? That's what I love about capitalism.
Sometimes you just gotta separate the art from the artist. You know what? I feel like there's like some serial killers are probably pretty good painters.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can look at a painting and be like, that's all right.
Throwback to last podcast, Ted Bundy probably would have made a good lawyer.
He would have been all right. Like, it seemed like a lot of the time he kind of just threw himself on the sword for the sake of presentation. He was
very charismatic.
He had the traits of a good lawyer, but he didn't have the skill of a good lawyer.
People a lot.
He also murdered upwards of 30 women.
Yeah, which is
it's a factor.
Yeah, it's a factor, and just a rough go.
Moment of sickness. Can we get down with the thickness of the sickness?
Oh,
we're just
rapping.
Bars. Have you heard about
just a quick?
Shut the fuck up.
Bars.
Like some people think that when you're sick, working out is a good idea, and it like accelerates. I think that's terrible. I don't think
I have read studies on this because as a frequent gym goer myself,
I feel like you'd know if that was a thing.
So, in general, if the symptoms are like head and neck up. So if it's like a sore throat, like your sinuses are clogged, stuffy nose, like you got a cough, you should be okay to like work out. But if it's neck down, like you're clogged up, like in your chest, you have like aching, then you shouldn't work out.
Okay. I didn't have any follow-up to that. I was just thinking, because I had heard from a few people, because I've been dying for now over a week, been coughing up all kinds of mucus. Oh, my doctor gave me a new inhaler, and it's whack. It has like this shell thing that like slides. It's wizardry.
Whoop!
Correct, sir. A big fat yeah, and I'm just, I've been vibing with being deathly ill for a while.
I mean...
Oh man, gotta close that computer notification.
Yeah. I think I might have gotten a virus because I was watching an illegal stream of last week's NFL playoff games because I couldn't get it legally.
It took me a second to realize you meant on your computer and not in your body.
Oh.
Like, what kind of shady deal did you make to try to watch this video of NFL stuff?
Can you explain why, Ian?
Why it's this is another going to be guess at science as to why congestion and aching means you shouldn't work out as opposed to the sniffles. We need a moment of thought.
I at one point did know why, but do not anymore. And I'll shout out there's a YouTube channel where I watched like him like go over these like studies. What is it called?
Girl defined.
Girl defined. No. Let me see.
Do you have Epstein on your list?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Epstein.
Let's talk about Epstein next.
Okay. Oh, well, give me 1 second. What is it called? I will find
Jojo Siwa.
Jojo Siwa.
Fitness icon. I think that sickness on whole, similar to both numbers and cereal, is not real. I think it's a state of mind. State of Minecraft.
Picture Fit on YouTube. If you look up like Picture Fit, should you work out when you're sick? He'll let you know. Actually, that channel overall it's great for like science based like studies that like show like this will do this, this will do this. Yeah. would
We cite our sources here on the
Yes.
It's Always Saturday podcast.
we cite our sources?
For example, the source that Epstein did not kill himself.
Epstein 1000% did not kill himself.
Actually, I do have a theory that involves him semi-killing himself.
Okay.
I feel like, because with a conspiracy like that, it's probably like, if any of us gets caught, you need to fucking off yourself immediately.
Okay.
So I think what probably happened was he got caught, he tried to kill himself as was part of like the deal with all the people involved with that shit, and then it didn't go well, so he was placed on suicide watch.
Mm-hmm.
And then they basically paid off all the people that needed to be paid off. I'm talking about the Hillary Foundation, the Clinton Foundation. Definitely paid them all off. Because it's where like, oh, it got scrubbed. Oh, the guards just weren't really paying attention that night. Oopsie doopsie. Nah, somebody gave somebody a few $1,000s, gave him the opportunity to kill himself, and then he did. That's my guess.
See, I don't think that he killed himself. Because I think that if he was alive, because of the power and sway that the Clinton Foundation has, like, I think he probably would have been fine.
Yeah, like he could have just like left.
Yeah,
and been all right.
Well, and here's why I think that is because that whole case has been thrown out because he's dead. Even though I'm pretty sure he has like weren't there like thousands of tapes of like all of like him and his elite friends being pedophiles?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like there was a like hand-painted portrait of Bill Clinton. It's actually there was a picture of Bill Clinton in like the Monica Lewinsky dress with like a heel coming up like in his house. Like he's very closely connected with many people. There were images of him with underage women with these people. And they're just like, well, he killed himself, I guess there's no more investigation. And that's why Hillary Clinton would have been a terrible president. Imagine this whole situation if Hillary Clinton was president.
Yeah.
Like,
not that Donald Trump is doing a good job.
No.
But I feel like Hillary Clinton would do equally a bad job. She would just do it more quietly.
Exactly. Like, it would have been like... Because we're like, there's a lot of not great things happening in the States. But we're very aware because he's a loudmouth.
Yeah.
And I'd rather a loudmouth with poor intentions than somebody who's fucking nefarious with poor intentions.
Yeah. Well, it's like Trump, part of the reason that Trump got elected is that people were tired of like the classic like politician like lying, making everything sound good. Trump just goes up there and like freestyles on the mic. He's like, there's like, I guarantee you, the people who write his speeches die every time he goes up there, looks at his cue cards, and doesn't read whatever's on them.
He opens every speech with a lighter in his one hand and a speech in the other. And he's been, which bits am I going to burn up today? Yeah, and you know what? More power to him. Yeah. Like, I think that, like, obviously I don't agree with, a lot of right-wing politics. I'm a borderline socialist. The only reason I'm not is because I do have like a lot of libertarian views.
Pretty gay.
I feel like the government should be able to let people do whatever they want, but also tax them for it if they're doing weird shit.
Spencer wants to tax your fetishes.
Yeah, y'all are nasty fucks and deserve to pay for it. I'm officially coming out as pro-taxes on fetish. And you know what?
That's okay.
That's okay. I feel like Epstein, pretty heavy tax. Oh, actually, I remember I was told. So, with child pornography, for each image, it's a 10-year sentence. I believe. Wow. But it gets harsher for, and again, very much should be harsh, for video. It still follows that rule, so for every frame of video, it's a 10-year sentence. So if you have a 60 frame per second video...
Bill Clinton would have been in prison for a very long time. As well as Epstein. I think... Here's my thoughts on Epstein. One, he was murdered by the Clinton Foundation. Two, they broke him out, got him on a plane somewhere. He's gotten plastic surgery.
Like the full, Nazis all go to Argentina method? Yeah. Yeah. How about that? I feel like... What do you think about the moon landing? You think it happened?
I do think it happened.
I also think it happened. Because, they put, reflectant, they basically put these big mirrors on the moon. So people that want to check can shoot a laser at the moon and it'll bounce back.
Okay.
And I don't think that's just magic. It could be magic. Maybe NASA put the chemtrails, made the atmosphere reflective if you put it at the moon. Chemtrails can detect the moon. Because why not? I believe in magic.
I believe in it too. I believe in because I don't believe in wizards. I believe in sleight of hand. When he guesses my card, that is straight magic. I believe in I obviously I don't really have anything to back this up, but I have been in situations where it's very.
This is legitimate mysticism belief.
Yeah.
Okay. No, keep going. I'm into it.
One time, and kind of ghosts a little bit too. Just kind of
a little bit of spooky ooky.
Yeah, we like the spooky.
So what's a situation where you were certain there's something supernatural?
Okay, so I worked at for 4 summers. I worked at the Salvation Army Pine Lake Camp. Great place. You should go there. It's fantastic. They do.
Is it for children?
Yes.
Okay, if you're a child watching, please go to this camp.
It's also for
Christian children?
All children, and you can work there if you're at least 14, I think. I think you have to be 14.
So Ian's ideal demographic of Christian males under 18, please hook Ian up.
No, you can work there older than that. You can be we had a 40 or 39-year-old or something like that.
I'm implying you're after young children.
Oh.
No, if you're older, you can message me too.
Yeah. Anyways, so I was there, and it's very, very large. The developed area of the camp, I would say, is probably about 10 to 15 acres.
Okay, so that's a hefty chunk of land.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Well,
where
are the ghosts?
Out. And the Salvation Army, I think the entire plot of land, because a lot of it's undeveloped, is about 70 acres.
Okay.
Anyways,
and then 60 of those 70 acres are just ghosts.
Just ghosts. Yeah, anyway, so first 2 years of work there, I worked there on maintenance. So basically we just mowed the lawns, fixed stuff. And a lot of my friends worked as counselors, so they would look after the kids. So when my shift was done, I would go and when my shift was done and after they would put the kids to bed, I would go hang out with some of my friends that were counselors. And then once it was curfew, I would walk back to my, where I stayed and go to sleep. So that one of those times I'm walking back, that's pitch black. And
suddenly out of nowhere, he feels a tight grasp on his left ass cheek. He sees my face, knowing I couldn't be anywhere near, but little did he know I had hunted him down, squeezed that cheek, sprinted back. It's called the sneak and squeeze for anybody at home.
That's Spencer's special move.
There was much documentation of one time before university started when the lads got sauced off their ass.
Sauced.
And I was just slapping Ian's ass as hard as I could.
So hard.
As frequently as possible.
Yeah.
There's an image of me with just sheer aggression on my face. I believe just some kind of cooler in my hand. And just hand going on his ass.
It was, you can the aggression on his face and it's a picture. So the hand is blurred because it's going so fast.
There's just so much speed, which is why I'm a ghost. That's the ghost of your ass after I demolished it.
Anyways, so I would have been 16.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm walking back, it's pitch black. There's nobody around. And, I did not imagine this. This was clear.
Mm-hmm.
I heard help, someone help me.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm walking past the forested part,
mm-hmm.
where where the forested part meets
mm-hmm.
the developed part, because I was out after curfew, and so I was kind of trying to sneak along.
Ooh. breaking the law.
Yeah. So I hear like help, help, help. So I look around because probably about like 200 meters up there are some buildings, and so I look at the buildings to see if there's anyone around the buildings or if there's any like windows open, so someone might be yelling from inside the building. Nothing. All the windows are closed. There's nobody around the buildings. No one is around. And so I'm staff, and so my first thought is there like a kid who like snuck out, thought he was being like a rebel, got himself hurt, now he needs help. So I'm like looking around. I'm looking like through. I pulled out my phone, like got my flashlight out, was like looking around, and so I couldn't find anyone. So I ran and grabbed my my boss, who was only like 3 years older than me. He was a G. Shout out my boss.
Any my bosses in chat?
Any bosses in chat?
See, I'm expecting this story just to end with you finding a child dead in a bear trap.
Anyways, shout out my boss. Fantastic. We had such a good time. Especially that time that he got high off painkillers. That was a banger.
Can relate. We can talk about that later.
Yeah, okay.
Ooh, we're up to 7 viewers. That's pretty good.
Hell yeah. Right, what's good, guys?
Yeah, let's get that ghost story going.
Yeah, anyways, so I run and grab him, and we run back. And so we're like looking around. We have like actual flashlights now. Like we're looking around, we're calling out. And nothing for like, we probably searched for like 5-10 minutes.
Bro, if you hear a child yelling for help and even looking for like 10 minutes and can't find them, call it off. Like
they're done.
They're done. Ooh, is that Bamboozler? Oh, this is love frosting while you guys are cute. Ah ha ha ha. If that's not Noah, you know what?
You can.
You missed the fuckboy section.
Yeah, you missed the fuckboy section. That'll be it. You can catch that later on YouTube. But hit me with that private message.
Please, private message the account. Ian is lonely and desperate.
Anyways, so like we keep looking, and we never found anything. But I heard a voice. Clear as day, it was there. Nobody around. Also, like when you're in a room and like...
Bro, I've been in so many rooms.
Like when you're in a room and like you get a feeling that like you're not alone.
Yeah.
Like there is like... There's either like somebody else in the room or like there's something... Somebody's watching. And when Spencer gets that feeling, it's usually me through that window over there.
I would hope so. And the fact that you've not yet climbed in and clapped cheeks is frankly disrespectful. Yeah, no, that's whack.
Yeah.
Because like I remember like I've had experiences where I have had full like for whatever reason like auditory hallucinations. Like
because you hear things that aren't there.
Yeah. Like, I remember for me, like...
And just to clarify, you think that, like, by auditory hallucination, you think that it's, like, your brain playing tricks on you, or you think that there's actually something there?
Like, I think that it was, like, my brain playing a trick on me.
Okay.
Because it was just based on, like, the state I was in at the time, it was, like, I was, like, very exhausted. It was during a very stressful point in time in my life. It was like early junior high. Most of the stuff was not going great for me.
Okay.
And this only ever happened to me twice. But I was actually standing right over there, and I started hearing music playing, and it was like an exact song. It was a System of a Down song, I think actually, and it was getting progressively louder and louder. And I checked my phone, I checked everything, and there was nothing playing any music. And I was getting louder and louder and louder to the point where and I tried to cover my ears, and I could still hear it. Oof. So then, because in my mind, then it has to be a hallucination, because if it was some sort of ethereal being, then covering my ears would have blocked it to an extent. Unless the guy's little, like, ghost dicks in my ear. But I covered my ears, and it got to a point where eventually, like, my ears popped, and it was, like, ringing. We got a long chat.
Because
I'm a fortunate...
It's, Ian, it's your lucky day. I'm a fortune teller streamer, and I'm a guy.
Sorry
you seem too straight for me. Lol, but come to my stream sometime. I'll read your fortune. 447 followers.
Oh,
yay.
sick.
Lol, I still think you're cute. Don't worry. Lol.
So what you're saying is there's a chance.
There's a chance.
Yeah, no, that's sick. We'll message them. We can try to set up like hosting each other on.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, no, like we can like.
Spencer
I'm not
knows
straight.
how to do that stuff. So
Yeah, with men he's talking about. But I am committed at the moment. But you know what? Things don't go well. Fortune teller, we're going to see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Read something other than my palm. That's a lesson in being slick.
I had another one.
Mhm.
So I was like, I was asleep. I was having a dream.
And again, I just started grabbing your hand. Stop! You're making me blush, lol.
Anyways, so I was asleep.
Mhm.
And for those of you, Spencer has seen this because I've fallen asleep like in front of Spencer.
Mhm.
And
I was
I
just watching.
Yeah, I move around like a lot in my sleep,
Mhm.
and especially like when I'm like just falling asleep, I kind of like I look like I'm having a seizure. That's
Yeah.
like what you described it as.
Well, yeah, you were like, was this when you were drunk on my birthday?
No, I'm talking like because it's happened a couple times where we've just been hanging out.
Yeah,
and
and
I
you just like
doze off.
Oh yeah, no, I remember what you're talking about. Yeah, you were just like, it's kind of like you know like the tonic-clonic seizures where you're like kind of out of it, but you also like you don't shake, but
Okay.
you kind of just like it's like severe twitching while also just being like aggressively still.
Okay.
Not just like you don't look peaceful is the
Okay.
main thing.
Yeah. So I like, and then also like when I am like in like a deep sleep, I used to share a room with my older brother, and I used to share a room with my younger brother, and they both told me that I move around a lot in my sleep. I like
just the gym life is just so strong. For it.
I've also since I've started because I recently started practicing MMA, like Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, stuff like that. I've woken up like throwing like kicks in my sleep.
Oh damn!
Like throwing kicks, throwing punches, like kind of like the patterns that I'm like being taught.
Why are we just being hit on by the chat?
Stop.
Your dad's friend says that's pretty. Oh, I have a guess as to who that is. And we have yeah, we're doing great. Oh, you do dream interpretations. That's cool. I remember when I was in therapy for a period of time, and my therapist is like Jungian psychology, and their focus was the belief that the unconscious can be like determined through your dreams. So it's like depending on what you're dreaming about, that represents certain things that your mind is grappling with. And like based on what you're like going on in your real life and stuff you need to work out, that's like your brain saying, this is what the fuck is going on.
So I listened to the Joe Rogan podcast again. He had this like the leading expert like pretty much in the world on sleep. Like he had him on, and he said that like when you're like learning a pattern, they've done this study on mice and humans. So like with the mice, what they did is they would so they would like make them like during the day they would make them like try to like make it through this maze, and then at night they would monitor their brain activity. And what would happen is that they would run the correct sequence of the maze in their dreams, but it would be 2 to 3 times faster. So like in terms of like martial arts, if I go cross, kick, cross, and it's like that, so it's like 1 2 1. Yeah. In my sleep, it's gonna be 1 2 1 1 2 1 1 2 1 1 2 1 1 2 1. It's gonna be like way faster. Like your brain runs it way faster in your sleep, and when you wake up, so like there's that expression like sleep on the problem. Yeah. And in almost every language, there is like some version of that expression. You will get 20 to 30% better at whatever you were trying to do if you sleep on it.
Interesting.
And that's science.
That's science, though.
So how we got on this topic is I was talking about my other ghost story.
Okay.
So I was like,
Let's take a pause. We got a lot of chats.
We got some chat.
One person, your dad's friend, saying they do card tricks and tarot card readings. That's pretty dope. I do tarot card readings too. If you ever want to do one,
hell, we could do it on the podcast.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dope. We got somebody saying they do them for free. One other person saying they do it for a cost. We got some bidding wars going on in chat. Jana's saying the audience wants Spencer to give Ian a tarot card reading.
We'll do that next time.
Well, we were gonna have a guest on next time, maybe.
Oh, right.
So we can do both.
We don't know what episode it will be, but we promise Spencer will give Ian a tarot card reading.
Yeah, certainly.
Because I think that stuff, I don't really believe in it, but I think that stuff is really interesting.
Yeah, I am very good at selling tarot card readings. I remember I went into like a friend of mine's work. Jane. I went into their work, and like a friend, like a coworker of theirs was like, because they were bored, so I was like, I'll give you a tarot card reading. And the friend was like, I want one too. So I didn't know this person at all. And I was like, I can bullshit you so good. And like, I got them to like question things a little because it's so easy. Like, honestly, like, people that believe in tarot card reading is like, I think it's fair because it's the belief of like random chance can correlate if you believe in like a universal power in that way. But at the same time, as somebody that does tarot card readings, it is so easy to fuck with people, and it's so much fun. But yeah, and also, just while we're on the subject of like mazes before we'll get back to your ghost story right after. There was this really cool video in my psych class. It was about this mold. It's like a spore mold that you can like see grafting out on like you put it in like a petri dish, and you put like a grain of like an oat grain. You can see it like move towards it. Ooh. So they had put it like in a maze, and they put like food in the center, and the mold was able to solve the maze pretty quickly to get to the food.
That's really cool.
That's not like, I thought that was dope, and then it gets cooler.
Oh.
So there's like a pile of oats in the center, and they put the mold on top of that, and then they put oats around it in what appeared to be a random pattern. But what they found was that the spores, the mold, found the most efficient pathway to each of the oats that were around on the petri dish.
That's so cool.
But the thing that was cooler about it was that the oat placement wasn't random. It was the center point was Tokyo, and the other oat grains were the surrounding cities of Tokyo. And the pathway that the mold found to be most efficient almost exactly paralleled the Tokyo rail system, going to those cities. So it took engineers decades, took a mold about 4 hours.
That's insane.
I thought that was crazy when I saw that in class.
That's wow.
Yeah, because he was talking about like what makes a human consciousness, what makes us different in rationality. Is it our ability to solve things? Because this mold did what engineers could do, and the only variation would be based on the terrain.
Yeah,
because like it's on a flat surface, but still like they had drawn out the rail system, put it over top. I'll show you the video later if you want, because I can't show it on stream.
No, that's crazy though.
Yeah, no, like that.
That's incredible.
That got me.
Yeah.
Ooh, and we got another message from, let's just call him Frost. I think your dad's friend is a troll. He has 0 follows and 0 views. Got him. Oh, so you know what? Even a troll can do a tarot card reading. Yeah. Or they could be a new person to Twitch. I'd say we welcome them with open arms.
Yes. You know what?
We just love attention.
Yeah. Well documented.
Well, yeah, let's go back to your ghost story.
Right. So I'm asleep, and like I move around a lot in my sleep. Mm-hmm. So, I can't remember what I was dreaming about, but like I like am abruptly woken up, and I like see something. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Like this was like in my room. I see like something. I don't know. It was just kind of like the vague shape of like what's like kind of like looked like human-ish.
It was Sully from Monsters Inc.
Anyways, so I like leap out of bed and like go to punch it because like what the fuck is this thing doing in my room?
If it's not Cordell,
just wakes up and knocks Cordell out.
Cordell's his youngest brother, and just the adopted one, and just
wham.
punch this child across the room. Yeah, just keep telling the story. We can do chat in a little bit.
And so I go to like hit this like what looks to be some sort of human shape, and as I go to like contact with it, my hand goes through it, and my arm like becomes cold.
Ooh.
And I was like, I was like, what?
That's freaky. That is confirmed freaky ass shit. Yeah, that's very strange.
Also, I made a mistake earlier in the story. This was not at my house.
Oh,
this was at the camp that I worked at.
I think you just, bro, lakes are just haunted. Well, you know, I had like, this was definitely a dream. Oh, do you want to do chat real quick?
Yeah. Frosting says, I can hold you down if you move around in your sleep, lol, or tie you up. What's my astrology sign? I'm a Scorpio. And that's the best one.
Mine is also Scorpio.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Well done. I thought you were going to ask what we could guess theirs. He's a Scorpio. Jane, chill. That makes sense. I'm Scorpio too, lol.
Hell yeah.
Frost you're just going to end up fucking this dude.
We just 3 Scorpios vibing out. You know, that's how it be.
3 Scorpio. You know what, Frost? I would have guessed you were a Gemini with how strong you've been going. Yeah. A new chatter. He's a... Yeah. What's their name? The Hungriest. So, Hungry saying that Ian's actually a bitch is his astrological sign.
I didn't realize that was one of them.
Well, they got Cancer. And we know they got that.
But if a bitch isn't an astrological sign, I would think that would be Butler's.
We now need to link the exact section of this clip to Butler. You know, I had this wild dream. It was, I had this dream that then led into sleep paralysis. Ooh. Which is annoying.
Am I your sleep paralysis demon?
You are not. Mine is like the full like satanic imagery of Satan is like my sleep paralysis demon.
Like that shit that's in memes when it's supposed to be like this lighthearted video that like someone just made on TikTok and then it just like goes demonic.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, like that stuff?
Like,
okay.
Yeah, so I had a dream where I was in a soccer match and I was at this farmer's field.
Okay.
And then the soccer match
was in the farmer's field?
It was next to it.
Okay.
And then it ended. And nobody really won, we just kind of left. And I was like, well, that was uneventful. I'm going to go steal some shit from this farmer. So I went over this farmer's field, and then it suddenly became nighttime. Okay. And I was like, cool, I got a challenge now. So I, like, snagged some, like, cantaloupe and watermelon. I definitely had, like, a watermelon, like, under my shirt in my dream. And this farmer was, like, chasing me down. And
it's like that one scene from Cars when Mater and Lightning McQueen go tractor tipping.
Exactly.
And then that one guy, that big ass, like, farm equipment, that sentient, like, chases them down.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Verbatim. I was Tomater. So yeah, I was vibing in my dream. I was just stealing this farmer's fruit. And then, like, eventually, like, I didn't get to see the farmer until I made exact eye contact with him in my dream. And then, immediately, I'm in my bed. But the farmer is still there, staring down at me in my dream. So that scares the shit out of me. But then I look to the end of my room, like, exactly here. And sitting at the end is, like, there's, like, light coming through the window. So you see the outline of, like, this demonic goat head with purple eyes and, like Baphomet, basically, if you know, like, what that looks like. Like, just, like, big, like, horned demonic head on, like, a large, like, pig-like body almost that's, like, covered in fur. And I'm straight up, I'm like, farmer, he's here for you. I'm, like, trying to convince the farmer to go fucking
he's trying to get you.
I know, I'm, like, laying in bed, like, yo, farmer, you gotta go deal with this fucking demon. I'll give you back the watermelon, like... But I'm just sitting there, like, trying to convince this fucking farmer to go be like, he's for you. Yeah. But, like, I don't know why I was cracking jokes in my sleep paralysis, but the farmer was just staring at me. So that was a wild fucking ride.
That is wild.
Well, we got a long chat. So Scorpios are the only sign that can travel through the land of the dead. Oh, we magic.
Bro, I knew it.
Dang. Frost is dropping some crazy shit.
So Scorpios are the only sign that can travel through the land of the dead and come back Scorpios are messengers of death that can inspire rebirth and change and loss, but not remorse. It's the beauty of death. So wait, what? So reason why I asked is because that portal where you punched through sounds like the land of the dead, cold, empty, void, hollow. Lols, I'm very... Yeah.
Bro, I swear to God, I wrote a D&D campaign. Exact same concept.
That's wild, though.
I think what we've established from that, all I took from that is that we can kill without remorse.
Yes.
We are harbingers of death.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can kill some.
Yeah.
Oh, that's spooky.
Yeah.
Well, I remember my dreams like to fuck with me so much. I remember like growing up as a kid, I like hated sleeping because I would always have nightmares.
Oh.
But then I just I kind of just started to find them entertaining. Because like I remember there was one where like I was upstairs and I had to come downstairs into my room to just be like, there's a bunch of demons. So I was like, I'm gonna get punched, and I just beat up some demons, and it was kind of sick. Like, oh, have you ever been able to control your dreams?
No,
like
I
full
haven't.
REM dreams.
No.
Okay, I only have once, and I wasted it so bad.
Oh, Spencer.
It's because I spent my dream trying to convince my dream that it was a dream, but then since I could control my dream was like, no, it's a dream. If that makes sense. Like I was in the Girl Scouts. In real life I was in the Boy Scouts, but in the dream I was in the Girl Scouts.
Spencer was
And I was like, girls, this is a dream. And I'm there vibing, saying like, y'all, pay attention to me.
I know. Sorry, the thing popped up.
I know.
We can wait. I couldn't read it very fast.
It pop up.
It went away. It's gone.
It's gone. But yeah, so we're vibing. And I'm like, girls, this is a dream. I'm dreaming. None of you are real. And they're like, no, shut the fuck up. I'm like, no, I am. And then I made my head a giraffe head. I'm like, look, I have a giraffe head. This isn't real. And they're like, no, you've always had that giraffe head. And I said, I just gave myself a giraffe head. Sharon, you bitch. Quit trying to fuck with me. And I was genuinely just arguing with my own subconscious that I was in control of the dream, which is why I was a Girl Scout with a giraffe head. And they were just like, no, you're not. And I was like, fuck. Yeah, so that was a rough go.
Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah, dreams are awesome. I think dreams are so fascinating. Like, even though I'm not sure, because again, my psych professor has been sneaking in this whole theory he has that the like unconscious isn't real, which I think is strange for a psychologist.
Yeah.
Well, basically, he said that.
I also think that could probably be pretty easily proven as bullshit.
The subconscious?
No, his theory that the subconscious isn't real.
Well, no, because his statement is that you can't prove the subconscious. Because the whole point of that is it exists in a way that you can never perceive it, which is what makes it subconscious. Like, what he's saying is that it's kind of like the idea of Freud, where, because Freud had, like the Freudian slip is the idea that if you say something by accident, it means it's what you actually want to say. Like the example of, like, you're in bio class reading the textbook, and you're like, oh, and then the orgasm, I mean organism. It's like, either that child's a sexual deviant, or they just similar sounding words that are hard to pronounce. Mm-hmm. But if it's like with the subconscious, that means that 13-year-old that may have read the word orgasm once was like, oh no, what word is it? I'm going to be a deviant and say orgasm. It's like, no, they probably just fucked up saying organism.
Yeah.
Like, it's either we're all terrible,
yeah,
or sometimes you just can't say organism.
Sometimes you're just, yeah.
It's the unconscious, mate. I mean, like, I believe in the unconscious because
as do I.
Well, I believe in the unconscious in that I believe that the things that have happened in our lives, like, you know how you were saying where, like, as you dream and as things happen, like, response times get quicker. It's like in life it's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. Then in dreams it's 1 to 1, 1 to 1, 1 to 1.
Yeah.
I feel like our subconscious does that with, like, emotional development. Where, like, as we experience things, being, like, either trauma, betrayal, anything that's negative or positive, interaction-wise, our brain does that quicker, too. Mm-hmm. So if we're just vibing out, and then we're like, this person did this thing, instant reaction, And that's what I think the subconscious is it's just an instant reaction of consciousness.
Okay. We got some chatters.
Oh, we got some chatters. We don't need to
so you're
scroll.
telling me if I'm a Scorpio, I die. Frosting says, not really. It's more like being a walking stallion with the heart of a crashing wave. What?
That's too far.
You've gone
also,
too far.
You don't gotta read conversation. There's just two people vibing. If they're talking to us. So Janer says the subconscious is the part where you keep breathing even though you aren't doing it on purpose. That's just organ functioning, Jane. You don't gotta be sassy about it. We're talking about emotional subconscious, I suppose, as opposed to your heart beating, where that's just like an innate function. It's like by property, like by turning on a car, my engine is running. By being alive, my heart is beating. Unless it's not. Sorry if we offend anybody with pacemakers out there. I know we got a big pacemaker audience. Pacemaker gang.
Pacemaker gang. Subconscious
is for the fucking weak. Your dad's friend is getting sassy in chat. Absolutely denying his subconscious. Well, because it's the whole concept of like mind over matter, which I think is you forcing your conscious to betray your subconscious.
Yeah.
Which is not something I've thought of before at all, and definitely just something I said on the spot.
Well, it makes sense.
Well, yeah, because it's like, you want to be a certain way or do a certain thing or think a certain way because of your whole existence leading up to that point. So it's hard not to be what you are. It's kind of the argument of whether we have freedom or not.
Any Sam Harris's in chat? Sam Harris is I guess you could consider him like a philosopher. Really smart guy. He doesn't believe in free will in the sense that from the time you were born, all the events like in your life and everything you have experienced makes you choose whatever you choose. So like, Spencer, say the name of a city.
Florida. That's a state. I feel like one of those like Family Feud people. Okay. I watched a clip earlier where it was like, well, it was some shit where it's like, name an animal. It's got 3 letters in the name, and the man just goes, alligator.
Okay.
I was gonna say Ottawa.
Ottawa. Okay, we're gonna do a different question. Give me the name of a sports team.
Florida. Edmonton Eskimos.
Edmonton Eskimos. So Sam Harris's belief is that there is absolutely no way that he could have said anything else because all of the events in his life led him up to saying, when I asked him to name a sports team, Edmonton Eskimos. Did you think of anything, a different sports team?
Genuinely, my first thought was Florida. And then I thought, no, that's stupid. And then since my brain was still on geographic, I think, I'm not in Florida, I'm in Edmonton Eskimos. So I think that, like, just, it is sort of tricky in that way, because then realistically, like, based off that, you really don't have freedom. Because
that's his whole thought.
I understand, but it's just kind of like, you can still, in a sense, choose not to agree with that, I think. Because if, based on, you can either view your life leading up to your point as the determination of the future, but the future only exists as you determine it. Okay. So then, it basically, that would either imply, literally from the second you have left the womb, you are an agent of your surroundings being imposed upon you. Or you can intake that, and then use that to make your determination. So even though you're, like, consciously deciding, like, first impulse doesn't necessarily mean lack of free will.
Yeah.
We're getting way too deep for what's supposed to be, like, a comedy podcast.
My thought is that what you have experienced in the past definitely influences how you think in the present.
Yeah,
but
certainly.
I also believe that it 100% comes down to whatever you choose.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think that, well, in the sense that, Ian.
Oh, sorry.
Like, in the sense that you can, like, you can choose what you pursue and don't pursue. You can be inclined based off your background, But if realistically, if you find your education to be in a bubble, and for whatever reason you can independently, like, I think that if people weren't in some way not predisposed by that, people wouldn't develop further than that, because that would then mean the only way you intake is all you can output.
Mm-hmm.
You can't develop further, because develop further means something new that's unrelated.
Yeah.
In a sense. We got another chatter.
Janer Porter says, you just revealed your location on the internet. Now you're going to get kidnapped. Your grade 3 teacher taught you better than that.
Listen, Janer, I know that you missed the first episode, but in that one, we went like all out. Exact location. Car, make, and model.
Yeah, that one.
Place of work, local friends.
Yeah.
Well, again, like our Instagrams are linked to it.
Yeah.
So again, like, we're not private about where we live on social media.
As well, there's over 1 million people in Edmonton and area, so good luck finding us.
Yeah, and area. I'm also wearing a University of Alberta hoodie, Janer. Imbecile. I think we should just insult chat more.
I'd probably... Love Frosting said, I'd probably kidnap him, but for other reasons. LMFO, trust me, he will thank me after lol JK.
Frosting, you need to chill out, homie.
I'll bring pizza. I'll bring Wow. This escalated very
quickly. We are being sexually harassed. Well, you are being sexually harassed. You know what, Frosting, though I'm less attractive, I do appreciate that you focused on the single man here. I really appreciate that. That's very big of you.
I'll bring Smash Bros.
Man, chat really is going all in on Frosting trying to bone eat.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
Well, Frosting is now saying they ain't gonna bring Smash Bros. They're just gonna bring the Smash. I think. Well, if I can figure out how to properly set this up better, we could probably Discord call in people.
I'd be down for that.
I think that'd be cool to contact people that aren't just in our local area.
Yeah.
Get Joe Rogan on.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So unconscious ghosts. Oh, I wonder. Let's check the topic list again.
Shout out everyone in the chat. It's awesome to have people chatting, for and just to interact with as well. Someone's got to bring GoldenEye though.
Yo, you ain't banging if you don't got GoldenEye.
What you got?
We talk about drag queens. Let's try to keep it a little lighter for 5 seconds. We went pretty heavy for a while. I have drag queens, your best Robin Hood story. I had Is the Unconscious Real on here.
Oh.
So look at me go. I have D&D. And also that weird underage oriented Snapchat content. Well, there was this
Actually,
video.
I have to pee. So you're gonna have to.
I will discuss this and how upset I am. But also, will do. But also be quick because we lose viewership when you leave.
Okay.
So I'm just vibing on Snapchat. I'm gonna sit between the chairs. All right. I'm the apex. I built these chairs and I don't trust them, so I'm gonna go back over here. But so I was watching Snapchat. The stories thing, and there's a guess your age challenge, and it's oh, guess your age, so funny, haha. And it's these two dudes in their 20s just guessing the ages of women from Instagram or whatever. And the punchline is always that they're underage. And I think that's really fucked up, because they'll be ooh, she looking fine though. And then it's what's her age? 14. And they even make a joke about prison bars going across. That's not a joke. That's just illegal. We got some more chatters going. Your dad's friend has said Snapchat stories are cancer. I think they're actually Aquarius. Doesn't make them pedos. It technically doesn't because they aren't aware, but it's still we're able to hear.
I wasn't.
So I was talking about how I saw a Snapchat story of these two dudes in their early 20s playing a game where they had to guess the age of people. And the punchline was always that they were actually underage.
Oh.
Which is weird. And the chat pointed out that doesn't make them a pedo.
Yeah.
But it's also, somebody arranged that, knew that they were probably going to guess that. It's just weird content. Because, who is that audience for?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have very strong opinions
On children.
yeah.
Also, is your throat doing good?
It's pretty good.
I can get throat spray.
I could use some water actually.
Oh,
I'll talk about okay. So I'm pretty libertarian for the most part. Like once you're 18, you could like I don't care what you're doing as long as you're like as long as you're not hurting anyone else or taking their stuff. I don't care. But when it comes to kids, like protecting kids and making sure that kids are properly developing is like crucial to like society. It's crucial for that kid to be like turning into a functioning adult. And so like I am 110% for like castrating pedos. You know what? If someone decides to go ape shit on a pedo and kill him, I don't think that they should face charges. Like in terms of like protecting children, like I think
that they like people. We said we were going to go lighter on this, and we just went to killing people. Do you want throat spray?
No, I don't want throat spray. I had a water bottle. I don't know where it is. Though.
Okay, well I'll quickly go around and get us just like glasses of water. Talk about something other than killing people. Ooh.
You give your opinion on this. I'll get the water.
Oh, what a gamer. Yeah, well, it's because I think that, of course, like, children need to be protected to an extent. I feel like there's a lot of overexposure for a lot of people, especially at a younger age. Like, it is, like, just with internet and cell phones, not to boomer alert, but, like, it's kind of, oh, my upstairs dogs are attacking the man. A poor guy. But yeah, like, it's really easy to experience things that typically somebody of that age would not even remotely have to. Like, there's just so much exposure and openness. Like, it used to, like, again, I grew up with this as well. Like, I was born after 9/11, for Christ's sake. Like, just the internet has become so ingrained that it's no longer even questioned to the extent it should be involved. And I think that's kind of strange. I'm gonna... from Frosting asking if we like anime. I thought that was Ian, but it's my dog. Zuzu. I'm gonna get my dog. Any dogs in chat? This is my dog, Zuzu. What's up? I'm gonna leave the door open. I gotta kick the dog out in a sec. But yeah, you can give your opinion on anime if you'd like.
Anime.
Because Ian loves anime, guys.
I do not love anime.
Ian loves anime.
Oh, this one's broken. That's cool.
One of the cups is broken?
Mm.
Is it like chipped?
Yeah, that's okay though. I almost cut myself on it.
Oh, fuck. Ew, sorry about that, homie.
It's all good.
That was rough.
Anime.
Which again, Ian loves anime. His favorite anime is One Punch Man.
My favorite not anime is One Punch Man. Because in order for me to maintain my integrity, I have to convince myself that it's not an anime.
Which is, we're kind of like that about like Dungeons and Dragons too, where like you're kind of into it, but also like, that's nerd shit though.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm gonna put some of this tape like over that crack, just so you don't like.
Oh, I'm just gonna drink from this side. It's fine.
No, just so you don't snag it by accident.
Okay.
Just because I have faith in you, but to an extent, you know.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
I do have that ooga booga brain.
You do got a little bit of that ooga booga brain going on, though.
Yeah. Anyways,
what were we?
How did we get on anime? I was gone for like 15 seconds.
I was just chatting about overexposure of the youth to things online, and then somebody was like, "Do you like anime?" Ooh, somebody whose vid must be a little bit delayed. I'm so bad. Oh, the hungriest saying dogs are the best. How dare you? Did I insult my dog? I do a lot. Zeus is annoying as shit. Like this dog.
I mean,
your dog's pretty
we
good.
insult our dogs. Like I have a dog. His name's Lincoln. He's a German Shepherd. He's he's big dog. Mm-hmm. Like I love
big dog.
He's big dog. I love Lincoln. Like is awesome, but he's dumb. He's so dumb.
Any dumb dogs in chat?
Yeah. Do we have any dumb dogs in chat?
Frosting, you need to chill out. You need to just straight up. Frosting just said in chat, "Lol, I like to be licking too, haha." chill. Home, you have frost in your name. Apply the frost to yourself. Take it like you're at like up here. Take it down to like about here. Keep it sizzling.
Yeah,
but like
we like a good.
The fires are burning hot. We get it.
We don't want to burn the bacon. Just keep it sizzling.
Keep it cooking.
Yeah,
but don't blacken it. You know.
Yeah.
Not that we have anything against blackened things. Isn't that like Creole cooking?
I don't know.
I've heard that that's a type of cooking. This is again, we're just devolving.
Henry Cavill was inaugural pick for the first It's Always Saturday podcast, Man Crush Monday.
Yeah. So since we got a lot of viewers right now, we have an Instagram, It's Always Saturday podcast on Instagram. Give that a follow for updates.
Yeah.
Feel free to follow the Twitch account.
Feel free to follow our personal accounts as well.
Also, we got up our own followers.
Yeah.
We have the first episode on YouTube on the It's Always Saturday Is it just It's Always Saturday or It's Always Saturday podcast?
It's Always Saturday podcast on Instagram.
Yeah, on YouTube.
On YouTube. I think I put It's Always Saturday podcast on
Alright, so on YouTube we have the first episode. Good stuff like that. And on our Instagram,
this episode will also be up when it's done.
It will be. And on the Instagram we'll put up like little questionnaires things saying like what do you guys want to see us talk about? And one of them was our selection for Man Crush Monday.
Yes.
Well, Ian's selection for Man, because he runs that, and I'm going to be doing a thing on Thursday, which y'all going to be seeing tomorrow.
Anyways, he was our inaugural pick, and reasons for that. Gorgeous face,
hot as fuck.
Yeah, really hot as fuck. Like
just a beefy lad.
From the neck up, hot as fuck. From the neck down, just jacked. Like he played Superman, absolute.
Like he played Superman and did not need padding.
Yeah,
that was just his body.
Yeah, he is very, 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 very jacked. Turns me on a little bit.
Don't tell Frost. You will not hear the end of it from the very gay man in our chat after Ian. Which, what I think is a fantastic theme.
Yeah.
You know what, Frosting? I hope you're a returning viewer. We're going to be doing this weekly. We hope to see you with us.
Yeah, we hope to see you with us again.
And any people that are listening to this in audio, if you're feeling left out, that's okay.
Yeah.
You can always join us for another week. But yeah. So any more opinions on Henry Cavill? I don't really know much about him as a person.
Gorgeous man. Also, I think he gives me good vibes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like he just seems like a good guy.
Yeah.
I have nothing to base that on, but he seems like a good guy.
Yeah. I had something else.
What was that? Oh yeah, the other one. We had 4 suggestions on Instagram, unless anybody's added any, and one of them was just me calling you a virgin. So yeah, we've exhausted that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we can talk about drag queens.
Drag queens.
That was an unintentional suggestion from somebody because I misread a text of theirs.
Thoughts on drag queens?
Well, I definitely remember in high school showing you a picture of a drag queen and being like, "Yo, you into them?" And you were like, "Yeah, they're hot." And I was like, "That's a dude, you fool, you idiot! You've been played.
I've been played."
You see, the difference was
we watched one episode of RuPaul's Drag Race. It freaks me out. It freaks me out.
Ian's afraid of drag queens.
Yeah, I'd like, again, if you want to do that, 100% do it. It freaks me out. I'm never gonna go to one of your shows or watch any more of that. But it also that whole, I think there's like a movement going on right now. Drag queens are not for kids. Very much agree. Drag queens should probably stay away from children.
It is. Well, I think that sort of goes in what we were talking about earlier, is where I think that it is a very sexual sort of art medium in the sense where it's typically it's like a dude in a very over sexualized female costume, which is again, vibe it out, homie.
Yeah,
you do you. I don't mind. There's I'm not a big fan of RuPaul's Drag Race either. There's a show I want to show you. It's 2 of them. I think one of them's named Katya. I forget. Oh, the other one's named Trixie Mattel. And you don't have to look at the chat every time. Booga.
No, okay. Love Frosting is saying that he is a drag queen
and a teacher,
and
he's
proud of who he is. And some dudes like wearing women's clothes.
And again, that's fine.
Yeah, neither of us are against that. Just
it's just when it's drag queens that part of their show is sexualization. And then that being for kids, the library thing where twerking is a sexual thing to an extent. and like putting that like it's again where like I'm a bisexual dude, I'm into other dudes that dress up as women. That's kind of great for me. I'll be real. I support it very fully, but it's just like it's again where it is like if it's just like a man like that is transgender or like identifies like as a woman, or if it's somebody that like is a woman to any extent, like all kids twerk now, not Trump drag queens. And yeah, well again that goes back to what I was talking about earlier, where it's overexposure. Like the point of twerking is to like look at my ass and then fuck it. That's kind of the point of it. So like
I do that to Spencer quite
often.
I
have fucked him in the ass many times. And it's again where there's no problem with ass fucking. It's just maybe if they're not under 12, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, and again, we don't mean to offend you, Frosting. We fully support everything you do. Being like teacher and drag queen, that's fine. Like if you're a male that likes to go in women's clothes, if you're a woman that wants to go in man clothes, which is really just like jeans and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Don't know why you'd want to. But hey, if you do, live your truth. Mm-hmm. So it's again where it's do whatever you want to do. It's again where it's just like kids are tricky because if you don't treat them very correctly, and we don't like, there's so much that we don't know how it's going to affect them.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it's
we don't, like my phone has definitely affected my eyesight.
Oh.
Like I can say that for a fact. Like in junior high and stuff. Like and when I was younger, when I first got my phone, I'd stay up late staring directly at my phone, and now I'm nearsighted. Ooh, we got another one for Frosting. I don't feel comfortable here. Sorry. Have a great stream. Enjoy. Sorry about that, Frosting. Yeah. Well.
Yeah, that's how she goes.
Yeah, like it's again where we want to be open to people, but we also don't want to be dishonest about our opinions. Like people are always, man, that was a hard turn from trying to fuck you to leaving.
Yeah.
But
also, we didn't really say anything offensive.
Yeah, well, I guess it's the I guess it's a community that they're specifically a part of.
Yeah.
It's again where we're always open to dialogue. If you want to discuss in chat anything you believe, we're more than happy to talk about that.
I have dressed in women's clothes before.
As have I. I was Dorothy for Halloween.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And last year I was Tinkerbell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm 2 years running dressing up as women on Halloween. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's again where it's just the context in which you do things. Talk about your presentation. Oh yeah, in high school I gave a social presentation wearing a miniskirt, and then I had another presentation in my German class, and I was still wearing the miniskirt. I mean, which is just a vibe.
That's just a gamer move.
It is a gamer play. My also on the same day I was wearing a miniskirt, there was a fire drill. Thankfully, it was a sunny day, but yeah, I got a lot of exposure in that miniskirt.
Yeah.
You want to check out my Instagram, Spencer.Ahern. There's pics on there. That was... Yeah, again, we're going to be honest about our opinions, but we're also going to be open to anybody if they have a different opinion.
We are 100% in support of free speech.
Mm-hmm. And, we can very much be wrong about anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I am frequently wrong about many things.
Bro, we got our first hater.
We got haters. Let's get it.
Anyway, we vibing.
We out here.
We support everybody. Live your truth. But sometimes we disagree with your truth. Because sometimes your truth is your opinion.
Yeah,
you know the difference.
That's okay.
Yeah. Or what was that bear for forest fires?
I don't know. Don't start forest fires.
Yeah, that bear. Fozzie Bear.
One of my opinions is that Lance Armstrong deserves all 7 of his Tour de France titles, and he should not have been stripped of them.
I think that doping in general should be encouraged. I think it's pretty cool.
I don't think that.
I think that the regulation should be more accommodating to people that use substances, because realistically most of them do. So
it depends what sport you're talking about.
I mean, with cycling. Oh yeah,
cycling. There's a very cool documentary on Netflix. It's called Icarus. It's really, really well done. It started out as a documentary to expose how even after Lance Armstrong, cycling is still super, super doped, and it ended up exposing the Russian 2014 Sochi Olympic scandal.
Oh damn!
It's a very, very good documentary. Would recommend. It's on Netflix. But yeah, cycling is so doped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think that it's again where it is strange because it's all about pushing the limits of the human body, not the limit of a pharmaceutical company. So it's kind of hard to put that line, because like if a human body can sustain a certain amount of substance, does that still count as that body going to that limit?
I don't know. Someone in chat says he should have been
talk.
stripped. Doping robs genuinely good athletes. I also believe that doping does rob genuinely good athletes.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing with Lance Armstrong is that at that time, everyone was doped. Yeah. Literally all of cycling was doped. And it was well known within the cycling community that everyone was doped. And so why don't, like you said, it robs genuinely good athletes. But why don't you let people dope? Yeah. You don't let people dope because it gives people an unfair advantage. But
if you give
everyone that unfair advantage, it's no longer an unfair advantage.
Because when you look at it as well, like when you think of like when most people think of who's somebody that you know that's just like famous, strong as hell. Most people say like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Uh-huh.
He was dope, 100%. Arnold Schwarzenegger like did steroids, 1,000%, and he openly admits to it because that's what bodybuilding was like at the time.
Oh, that's what bodybuilding is still like.
Yeah.
Like the IFBB, which is the the biggest
I'd
bodybuilding. It stands for International Federation of Bodybuilding, I think. And that is the biggest organization of bodybuilding right now. Doesn't test for anything.
Yeah.
They don't test for anything.
So it's again where that's an example of a sport where doping is just again the extent to which your body can handle it. Because nobody looks like that in reality.
Oh, no.
Like even like those pictures of Henry Cavill, hot ass dude, and most of those pictures where he's shirtless, he's been dehydrated for a few days. Because that's just kind of how it is. Like, humans are generally not these muscular, towering fucking creatures. We're kind of spindly. We were designed to be smart and run fast.
Yeah.
Like, we used to be able to outrun gazelles, not in speed, but in endurance. Like, we're built to last, not to fucking fight a bear. No drugs are consumed.
Wait, what?
Janer says,
how do you include blood doping in your whole opinion? Okay, I'm going to finish my Lance Armstrong thought. So the person who wins the Tour de France is given a yellow jersey, and that's kind of like the trophy is your yellow jersey. And there are two other jerseys that are also given out, and I can't remember what they look like, but one of them is given to the best sprinter of the Tour de France, and the other one is given to the best hill climber of the Tour de France. For all 7 of those years that those awards were also given out that Lance Armstrong won, like various people won them, all of those other people who won those 2 different distinctions still maintain those titles where Lance Armstrong has been stripped, even though it's well known that they would have been doping as well.
Suffering from success.
Yeah. And like it's only in that like extremely rare case that I think that he should maintain his titles, just because it was well known that everyone was doped. And in for blood doping, so blood doping, the primary
can you just like quickly explain? I don't 100% know what blood doping is in all honesty.
Okay, so blood doping, I think Jane is referring to EPO, which is a chemical or a hormone that your body naturally produces that increases your red blood cell count.
Okay.
So
and that accelerates like oxygen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like
for people that don't have time to train in like high altitude areas that would do that naturally.
Yeah. So
okay.
It's like if you inject like you would inject EPO, and then it would increase your red blood cell count, and then it would delay your transition from your muscle acting with oxygen versus acting without oxygen.
Okay.
So I don't know the exact science, but that's kind of how it works.
All right.
But EPO gives you a way.
You can wait on reading the chat, Ian.
Anyways, I'm getting to that. So EPO is obviously you inject, and then people will say, well, why can't you inject EPO if you can go to Colorado, let's say, and train there at the high altitude? And that's completely legal. And in some sports, no, it's completely legal to go train anywhere you want. In some sports, it's illegal to sleep in oxygen deprivation tanks.
Okay.
But EPO is a way bigger advantage than
Well, they're spending a weekend in Colorado.
than
Shocking.
training in Colorado. TJ Dillashaw, UFC fighter, was recently popped for EPO, and he got a two-year suspension. Basically, it's not. EPO makes your blood so much thicker with red blood cells that it can give you seizures.
So we're saying we're experiencing terminal thickness?
Terminal thickness?
I believe we've experienced terminal thickness, gamers.
Yeah.
Can we get some terminal thickness in chat?
Yeah. Can people drop the peach emoji in chat?
I feel like it's... Well, so you're saying then it's unhealthy. Ooh, we got a new follower?
We did.
Ooh, the Hungriest has followed us. Thank you very much for the follow, Hungriest.
Terminac thickness last.
it was a good attempt.
Yeah.
Dad's friend really be out here trying to be hip with the kids.
Yeah. What was I gonna say?
Do you think that should then be allowed or not allowed, as it's a risk to the athletes?
No, I don't think any doping should be allowed. And testing, although at one time was not very good, now is very good.
Ooh, another follow from King Pastro TV. Thank you very much for the follow.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for the follow.
Those are some real gamers.
Yeah,
you guys can dope. We can let you.
Yeah, you guys.
If you follow.
Preface that if you want to go into a competition where you don't have to agree to not take drugs, have at it. If you just want to do steroids and be this super jacked strong guy, have at it. But the moment that you sign up for a competition where you say I'm not doped, that's what I have a problem with. And I can't remember who said it. Someone in chat said doping robs genuinely good athletes. You're correct, it does. Yeah. But in the Lance Armstrong case, nobody was robbed because they were all doped. And I believe that if none of them were doped, the same outcome would have transpired because
it would have just
Lance
taken longer.
Armstrong was an exceptional athlete.
Yeah. So I feel like that's pretty well covered in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man. I'm still even though I told you about it earlier, but just still thinking about that mold that would solve the maze. Still fucks with me.
That's crazy.
Man. We live in just wild times.
We live in a society.
We do. We literally live in a society. Well, I'll put that cup over here.
Word.
I
had something else.
Did you have any we got any questions in chat? Do you have any was there anything you had left on your topics list? Because we do prepare
a little
avidly
bit
for this podcast.
We can talk about those ones another time because a lot of them are some bigger topics that would take a while.
Yeah, well, because we were planning on ending the stream around 10, which should be in about 2 minutes. Do you still want to end around then?
Yeah, that works.
Okay. I feel like it's been a really successful one all in all.
Yeah.
I think we should definitely thank everybody who's been listening.
Thanks to the listeners.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. For anybody that was only able to catch a little bit or only joining us later, this will hopefully be uploaded by the end of the night on YouTube. As well, I now have it set up so videos will be kept. I think I'm just going to be uploading audio to YouTube.
I disagree. We will talk about that later.
We'll talk about that later. But yeah, I hope everybody doing well. Might as well. I feel like that's a pretty good note to end on.
Yeah. Thanks to all the listeners.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We did really well. Thanks to everybody who commented, chatting. Follow us on Instagram at It's Always Saturday Podcast on Instagram. Just keep updates. Let you know what's going on. And, I think I will end the stream unless you got anything else you want to say.
No, that's good. Yeah. And just remember, it's always Saturday when you're with the boys.
When you're with the boys.
Exactly.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.